students, let's start our new chapter, chapter 9, Connecting PHP and MySQL. The main concepts you are going to learn in this chapter, Connecting PHP and MySQL, MySQL function in PHP, database connections and performing queries. So first let us see about what is SQL. SQL is nothing but structured query language. Structured query language is not a database, it is a language, okay. It is a standardized language used to access the database and the data are processed to turn into efficient information. So if you want to access the database, you have to use structured query language. This is the language, okay. What is MySQL? MySQL is open source software that allows managing relational databases. Give some examples for relational databases. MySQL, Oracle, IBM DB2 and Microsoft SQL Server. These are the examples for relational database management system. What do you mean by database? Database is a place where we store, retrieve and manage data. In a database, you can store and manipulate the data. In a database, data will be arranged in the form of table. This helps in identifying which data is stored where and under what name. Okay. See here, this is the example. The data will be arranged like this. Okay. So what is PHP? We already discussed about PHP. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. It is a server-side and general purpose scripting language. It is very simple and lightweight open source language. Okay. This PHP can easily embed with the HTML and other client-side scripting languages like CSS. CSS means what? Cascading style sheets. Now let's see this topic, Connecting PHP and MySQL. There are so many relational databases available. MySQL, Oracle, IBM DB2 and Microsoft SQL Server and so on. These all the databases are connected with the programming language and perform the major operations like insert, select, update and delete using SQL. SQL means what? Using structured query language. Here the database is connected with the PHP programming language. Which database? MySQL. Which language? PHP. What is the purpose of connecting PHP and MySQL? To perform insert, select, update and delete operations by using structured query language. Okay. One of the main reasons the businesses choose PHP MySQL application development is its simplicity and easy to use. What is MySQLi? It stands for MySQL Improved. It is the object-oriented interface to the MySQL bindings which makes things easier to use. It also offers support for prepared statements which are very useful. Next topic is MySQL function in PHP. In PHP scripting language, many functions are available for MySQL database connectivity and executing SQL queries. Here MySQLi is the extension in PHP scripting language which gives access to the MySQL database. MySQLi extension was introduced version 5.0.0. The important MySQL functions are MySQLi connect function, close function, select database function, affected rows function, connect error function, fetch associate function. Let us discuss them one by one, okay. First let us see about connection, database connections. If you want to connect MySQL database with the server machine via PHP scripting language, you can use MySQLi connect function. This is the syntax of connect function. MySQLi connect, server name, username, password, database name. Here 4 parameters are used to connect the database server. What are they? Database server name, database username, database password, database name. So if you want to connect database server via PHP scripting language, you have to use these 4 parameters. Here localhost is the server name. username is the username, password is the password, database name is name of the database. If you want to create connection, you have to write like this: connection is equal to MySQL connect, server name, username, password, database name. If you want to check that connection, that means whether the database is connected properly or not, you have to write like this: if connect DIE connection failed, otherwise echo connected successfully. Okay, here exclamation symbol is given, which means not connected. If not connected, then it will return connection failed, otherwise it returns connected successfully. Okay, next topic is performing queries. Queries are nothing but statements. These statements are helping with the PHP MySQL extension to achieve the objective of MySQL and PHP connection. If you want to perform queries, you have to use the function MySQLi query function. This helps to execute the SQL query statements in PHP scripting language. Okay, see here, this is the syntax of performing queries. MySQLi query connection object SQL query. See this example, 2 lines of code is given here. First line for creating connection with the database server, which means here localhost is the server name, my user is the username, my password is the password, and student DB is the database. Next code is for performing query. SQL is equal to select student name, student age from student, MySQLi query connection SQL. Here select student name, student age from student is the connection object, and MySQL query is the SQL query. Okay, next topic is closing connection. If you want to close the existing opened database connection between PHP scripting language and MySQL data server, you have to use MySQL close function. This is the syntax: MySQL close connection object. This is the example. CON is connection is equal to, first you have to connect the database server, MySQL connect, server name, username, password, database name, and after that if you want to close the database server connection, you have to use MySQLi close connection function. Okay, let us see this program, example of PHP and MySQL program. Here first line, PHP is the opening tag. See the second line, server name, that is the localhost, and username, this is the username, password, this is the password, and next database name, school DB, school database, that is the database name. Next you have to connect that database server, connection is equal to MySQL connect. Okay, after that check your connection, which means check whether the database is connected properly or not. If that database is not connected properly, it will display failed to connect to MySQL. Otherwise, it will display connected successfully. And the next line is for performing queries. SQL statement is equal to select into from my contacts. This is the SQL select query. And the next line is execution of that queries. Result is equal to MySQLi query connection SQL statement. To get number of rows, you have to use this query MySQL number rows. Within the parenthesis, write result. Here this is the fetch associate query. Row is equal to MySQLi fetch array result. Next, students details are given: ID, full names, gender, contact number, email, city, country. Here you have to enter all the things, and after that you have to close the connection of data server, MySQL close connection. Last line is closing tag of PHP. So this is the example of PHP and MySQL program. I hope you understand. Thank you, students.